Your thoughts are not whispers into the void. They are forces shaping reality itself. The quantum power law exposes the hidden mechanism behind manifestation, proving that you are the architect of your existence. The moment you realize this, everything changes. The Quantum Power Law. Introduction. Amid the fog of ages, a revered truth has stayed concealed, awaiting those prepared to embrace it. You now stand at the brink of comprehension that will not only change your life but also alter your very view of reality. What you are about to uncover has been preserved by the sages of all eras, relayed in hushed tones and symbols to those whose hearts were ready to accept it. The cosmos functions on principles far more remarkable than what your eyes can perceive or your hands can grasp. Beyond the curtain of mundane existence lies a domain of endless potential, a quantum field where thoughts become tangible and desires materialize into reality. This is not simply theory or hopeful thinking, but the essential framework of existence itself. You have been taught to believe in limitation, to accept boundaries as fixed and unchangeable. Yet these constraints exist only in the mind, carefully constructed illusions that have kept humanity from recognizing its true nature. You are not merely an observer of reality. You are its architect. The quantum power law reveals that consciousness shapes the very fabric of existence. Your thoughts are not merely electrical impulses in your brain. They are waves of creative force that ripple through the quantum field, molding reality like clay in the hands of a master sculptor. This power has always resided within you, dormant but never diminished, waiting for the moment of recognition. As you turn these pages, you step onto a path that few have dared to walk. The knowledge contained here will shatter the illusions that have bound you, awakening abilities that seem impossible to the sleeping mind. Time, space, and matter itself bend to the will of one who understands these principles. This is not new power being given to you. It is the recognition of what has always been yours. The veil is lifting, and with it, all limitations dissolve. Your journey into mystery begins now. Part 1. The Hidden Laws That Control Reality. Chapter 1. The Field of Infinite Possibilities. In ancient times, there lived a wanderer named Kamal who found himself at the edge of a vast desert. The scorching sun beat down as he gazed upon endless dunes stretching to the horizon. 3 paths lay before him, one leading east toward distant mountains, another west toward what appeared to be mirages, and a third straight ahead into the heart of the desert. As uncertainty gripped him, an old mystic materialized from the shimmering heat waves. All paths exist, but you step into the one you believe is real, the mystic whispered, his voice carrying on the desert wind. Kamal closed his eyes, held the image of a lush oasis in his mind, and took a single step forward. When his eyes opened, before him stood a paradise of palm trees and crystal waters, where moments before there had been only sand. This tale speaks to the fundamental nature of your reality. The universe does not present you with a fixed path, but rather an infinite array of potential experiences awaiting your conscious selection. Like Kamal, you stand at the crossroads of countless possibilities. The path that manifests is the one you choose to believe in with unwavering certainty. In the mountains of the east there once lived an archer named Wei. Each morning he would practice his art while wearing a blindfold, trusting completely in his inner vision. Others laughed at his methods, but Wei continued, guided by an inner knowing. One day, the village elder challenged him to demonstrate his skill. Wei drew his bow, released his arrow, and where it landed, there appeared the target's center. Again and again he shot, and with each arrow the target manifested precisely where he had struck. The truth revealed in Wei's story mirrors the deeper workings of the quantum field. The target did not exist until Wei's consciousness determined its location. In the same way, the reality you experience does not exist until your consciousness selects it from the infinite field of possibilities. To help you step into this truth, I offer you this ancient practice of reality selection. Sit in perfect stillness and close your eyes. Breathe deeply until your mind grows quiet. Now imagine yourself standing in a vast white space, unlimited in all directions. Begin to paint your desired reality in this space, adding every detail with absolute clarity. Feel the solidity of this reality with every sense. See it, hear it, touch it, taste it, smell it. Let yourself fully enter this experience, knowing it already exists. Hold this reality in your consciousness for several minutes, allowing it to become more real than your current circumstances. When you open your eyes, carry this knowledge with you. What you have experienced in consciousness has already begun materializing in your physical world. Chapter 2. Reality bends when you watch it. In the temple gardens of the East, a young student named Jin sat before his master. Between them rested a simple clay bowl filled with perfectly still water, its surface like polished glass. "Watch," the master instructed, "but do not move." Jin observed the water intently. After several moments, tiny ripples began to form across the surface, though nothing had touched the water. His eyes widened in wonder. The master's gentle smile revealed ancient knowing. "You are seeing your own thoughts," he explained. "Just as your mind creates ripples in this water, your consciousness shapes the fabric of reality itself." This truth echoes through the ages and now stands validated by the discoveries of quantum physics. The universe exists as an ocean of infinite possibility, a quantum field of pure potential, until the power of consciousness interacts with it. Your observation, your attention, your focus. These are the forces that collapse possibility into material reality. Each thought you hold becomes a pebble dropped into the cosmic waters. Every moment of focused attention draws forth specific possibilities from the infinite field, manifesting them into your physical experience. You are not merely observing your reality, you are creating it through the very act of observation. In a distant village lived an artist named Raven, who painted scenes of breathtaking beauty. One morning, while walking through the marketplace, she froze in astonishment. Before her stood the exact scene she had painted the previous evening, every detail precisely as she had rendered it. As days passed, she noticed more of her paintings materializing in the world around her. In a moment of revelation, she understood. She hadn't been painting scenes from her imagination. She had been painting glimpses of her own future, called forth by the power of her focused attention. Just as Raven's brush stroked images into being, your consciousness paints the canvas of your reality. But this power requires precision. To help you master the art of focused creation, I share with you this ancient practice. Find a quiet space and light a single candle. Place it at eye level, arm's length away. Focus your gaze softly on the flame. As thoughts arise, observe how the flame responds to your mental activity. Notice how your attention affects its dance. Now bring to mind one specific desire. Hold this thought steady, letting the flame become a physical anchor for your focus. Practice maintaining this single point of attention for several minutes. This exercise teaches your consciousness to direct its creative power with precision, drawing forth only those possibilities that align with your chosen reality. Chapter 3. Vibration is the key to unlocking everything. In the depths of an ancient mountain temple, A young musician named Kai knelt before a sacred stringed instrument. Its golden strings gleamed in the candlelight, promising celestial melodies. Yet when his fingers touched the strings, only silence followed. For 7 days and nights, he tried every technique he knew, but the instrument remained mute. On the 8th morning, the temple master appeared. "You strive to make music," the master observed, "but have you become the music itself? This instrument responds not to skill, but to essence. You must first become the note." At first these words seemed cryptic, but as Kai sat with the teaching, understanding dawned. The universe operates through resonance, through matching frequencies. Just as a tuning fork will cause another of the same frequency to vibrate from across the room, your state of being sends out a resonant signal that the universe must match. When you desire wealth but vibrate at the frequency of lack, your reality remains unchanged. When you seek love but resonate with unworthiness, love remains elusive. The universe responds not to your wishes or wants, but to your energetic signature, to who you are being in each moment. Kai closed his eyes and allowed himself to merge with the silence. He became still, letting go of all effort to play. Gradually, he felt his own energy shifting, aligning with the sacred vibration of the instrument. In that moment of perfect resonance, music began to flow through him, not from him, but through him. The temple filled with celestial harmonies that seemed to emerge from the very fabric of creation. Along the ancient Silk Road, a merchant named Adil lost his way in a fierce sandstorm. Disoriented and afraid, he struggled against the howling wind until exhaustion overtook him. As he sank to his knees, he remembered the words of a desert sage. "The wind knows the way." In surrender, Adil began to breathe in rhythm with the wind. As his breath synchronized with its flow, something extraordinary happened. The air around him began to shimmer with a subtle light, revealing a clear path through the storm. By matching the frequency of the elements around him, the way forward was revealed. To help you align with the frequency of your desires, practice this ancient resonance ritual. Find a quiet space and sit comfortably. Begin by creating a pure tone, a single note held in your voice. As you sustain this note, feel it resonating in your body. Now bring to mind your desire. Without changing the note, allow your entire being to vibrate with the feeling of already having what you seek. Let your breath, your voice, and your consciousness merge into one frequency. Maintain this resonance for several minutes, becoming the very essence of what you wish to attract. Chapter 4. Time is an illusion. Step outside it. In the high mountains of the east lived a man named Chen, who dreamed of reaching the sacred peak that towered above all others. Each night he would gaze at its snow-capped summit, calculating the years it would take to make such a journey. He gathered supplies, studied maps, and trained his body, believing the path would demand decades of preparation. One night, Chen dreamed he stood at the base of the mountain. But as he looked up, something shifted in his perception. The distance between where he stood and the summit seemed to fold in upon itself, like pages of an ancient manuscript being pressed together. In that moment, he understood. Time was not a rigid line stretching before him, but rather a collection of moments existing simultaneously. When Chen awoke, he saw the mountain with new eyes. The journey was not about the physical distance, but about stepping into the reality where he had already reached the summit. That very morning, he began to climb, and what he had imagined would take years manifested in mere days. Time is not the linear progression you have been taught to believe. It exists in layers, like sheets of parchment stacked one upon another. Your future self, the one who has already achieved your dreams, exists now, in this moment. The only distance between you and that self is a shift in consciousness. In a marble quarry in the Mediterranean, there lived a sculptor named Theos. For years, he labored over a block of pure white stone, believing he needed to create his masterpiece through endless carving and chipping away. One morning, as sunlight struck the marble at a particular angle, Theos saw something that stopped his hands. The figure had always existed within the stone. His task was not to create, but to reveal what was already there. Your desired reality is not something you need to build from nothing. It already exists, complete and perfect, waiting for you to step into alignment with it. Just as Theos's masterpiece was always present within the marble, your fulfilled destiny exists now, requiring only your recognition to become manifest. To collapse time and step into your achieved reality, practice this ancient technique. Sit in perfect stillness and close your eyes. Breathe deeply as you envision your future self, who has already manifested your desire. Now, imagine that version of you begins walking backward through time, retracing every step that led to their success. Watch as they move closer and closer until they stand directly before you. As you breathe in, allow their essence to merge with yours. Feel their wisdom, their certainty, their accomplishment becoming your present reality. With each breath, the distance between who you are and who you will be dissolves until time itself collapses into this singular moment of achievement. Chapter 5. The Hidden Belief Codes Controlling Your Reality. In the heart of an ancient fortress, a man named Malik spent 20 years within a stone cell. Each day, he pressed against the iron door, dreaming of freedom. He created elaborate plans of escape, yet never attempted them, knowing the door's strength would prevail. You, like Malik, may believe yourself bound by unbreakable barriers. Yet what binds you is not iron or stone, but invisible codes etched into your consciousness. These codes, beliefs about what is possible, were inscribed long ago, often without your awareness or consent. One night, as Malik slept, a voice whispered, "What if the door was never locked?" At first, he dismissed this as madness, but the thought persisted until, trembling, he approached the door. With the lightest touch, it swung open. For 20 years, his prison had been nothing but his own belief in its power. The codes that govern your reality operate with similar authority. They determine what opportunities you recognize, what actions you take, and what results you allow yourself to receive. These beliefs are not truth, they are programming, as changeable as words written in sand. In the distant realm of Persepolis there lived a ruler named Darius. Upon ascending to the throne, he discovered an ancient inscription carved into its base. "The kingdom shall know peace only in times of plenty." For generations, this decree had shaped the kingdom's destiny. Abundance and peace always arrived together, while scarcity brought conflict. One day Darius felt moved by an inner wisdom to alter the inscription. He added a single word: "The kingdom shall know peace and plenty." Within a season, the pattern that had governed his land for centuries transformed. Peace and abundance began flowing simultaneously, no longer bound by their old relationship. The power to rewrite your reality's code lies within you. Just as Darius altered his kingdom's fate with a single word, you can transform your life by consciously choosing new beliefs. To reprogram the codes that govern your reality, practice this sacred ritual. Close your eyes and envision yourself in a vast chamber of light. Before you stands a crystalline wall inscribed with your current beliefs. See them clearly. Every limitation, every cannot, every impossible. Now raise your hand and with a beam of golden light extending from your fingertip, begin to rewrite these codes. Replace each limiting belief with its empowering opposite. Watch as the old inscriptions dissolve, making way for your new truth. Feel these new codes integrating into your being, becoming the foundation of your expanded reality. Chapter 6. The Mirror Principle. Your outer world reflects your inner state. In a secluded garden, a merchant named Hassan knelt beside a crystal pool. Day after day, he gazed at his reflection, willing it to smile first, convinced that when his image showed joy, his life would transform. Yet his reflection remained stern, matching his frustration perfectly. You may recognize yourself in Hassan's quest. How often have you waited for the world to show you happiness before allowing yourself to feel it? The universe operates as a grand mirror, reflecting back the essence of your inner state with unwavering precision. The law of reflection governs all manifestation. What appears in your external world, every circumstance, relationship, and opportunity, emerges from the template of your internal reality. When you understand this truth, you realize that waiting for outer change before shifting your inner state is like expecting your reflection to move independently of you. In the mountains of the east, a wanderer named Karim journeyed between villages. In each place, he encountered people who stirred strong emotions within him. A merchant's greed angered him, yet this man reflected Karim's own unacknowledged desire for wealth. A woman's vanity offended him, though she mirrored his hidden longing for recognition. Each person he met embodied qualities he refused to see in himself. Until you embrace all aspects of yourself, the light and shadow alike, the world will continue presenting these qualities through others. What triggers you externally exists unacknowledged within. To harmonize your inner and outer worlds, practice this ancient mirror technique. Stand before a mirror in complete solitude. Gaze deeply into your own eyes, seeing past the physical form to the eternal essence within. Speak to your reflection as though addressing the universe itself. Express gratitude for all you wish to receive as if it is already yours. Let your eyes shine with the joy you seek. Your posture reflect the success you desire. Your smile radiate the love you wish to attract. Maintain this state for several minutes, allowing your inner world to shift into alignment with your highest vision. The outer world has no choice but to follow. Chapter 7. The Emotion Frequency Spectrum. How your feelings command reality. In the rolling hills beyond the ancient valleys, a shepherd named Adnan watched in wonder as the earth beneath his feet transformed with each passing emotion. When his heart swelled with gratitude for the morning sun, golden flowers sprouted along his path. As doubt crept into his mind about the coming winter, thorny vines emerged where he walked. Joy created stepping stones of light, while fear manifested treacherous ravines. You possess this same creative force. Your emotions are not merely responses to life, they are the very energy that shapes it. Each feeling radiates a specific frequency into the quantum field, attracting experiences that match its vibration. When you understand this truth, you realize that your emotional state is the most powerful tool of creation you possess. In the misty peaks of an ageless mountain range stood a temple, its walls adorned with symbols representing different emotional states. The priests of this forgotten sanctuary knew a truth that time has obscured. Emotions were never meant to be controlled or suppressed, but rather understood as divine forces of manifestation. Joy was not merely a feeling, but a god of abundance. Peace was not simply a state, but a goddess of healing. Love was the supreme deity, capable of transforming any circumstance. The universe responds not to your thoughts or words, but to the magnetic force of your emotional vibration. When you generate the feeling of already having what you desire, you activate the exact frequency that draws it into physical form. To master this ancient art of emotional manifestation, practice this sacred technique. Close your eyes and recall a moment of pure joy, a time when life felt magical and full of possibility. Let this feeling expand within your chest until your entire being resonates with its frequency. Now, while maintaining this elevated state, envision your desire as if it's already manifest. Don't simply see it, feel it with every cell of your body. Feel the gratitude, the excitement, the peace of having received it. Hold this emotional vibration for several minutes, knowing that as you sustain this frequency, the universe is already rearranging itself to match your inner state. This is not visualization, it is vibrational alignment with what already exists in the quantum field. Chapter 8: Energy Leaks, the Silent Saboteurs of Manifestation. In a distant kingdom lived a warrior named Kenzo, renowned for his impenetrable armor and unmatched strength. Each morning, he added another layer of protection, another shield, another weapon, another charm. Yet with each passing day, he felt weaker, more drained. Until one morning, holding his armor to the sun, he saw what had always been there, countless tiny holes, each one leaking his precious life force into the void. You are this warrior. Your energy, the very essence of your creative power, seeps away through countless unseen openings. These are not physical wounds, but energetic drains that rob you of your manifestation potential. Every time you dwell on past regrets, worry about future uncertainties, or engage with energy-depleting relationships, you create another hole through which your power escapes. In the hidden valleys of an ancient monastery lived a monk named Wei. For decades, he pursued enlightenment with fierce determination, performing countless rituals and practicing endless meditation techniques. Yet enlightenment remained elusive. One day, exhausted from his pursuit, he simply stopped. In that moment of surrender, when he released his grip on achievement, the light he had been seeking flooded his being. His desperate striving had been the very thing blocking his path. The universe operates on the principle of effortless power. When you release the need to control, to struggle, to force, when you simply allow your energy to flow naturally, you tap into the infinite current of creation. But first, you must seal the leaks. To reclaim your power and direct it toward conscious creation, practice this sacred cord-cutting ritual. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and visualize yourself surrounded by golden light. See the cords of energy extending from your body, some thick, some thin, some bright, some dark. These cords represent connections to past experiences, limiting beliefs, and draining relationships. With divine authority, take a sword of light and sever each cord that no longer serves your highest good. Watch as the severed ends dissolve into pure light, returning their energy to you. Feel yourself becoming stronger, more focused, more powerful with each cut. Complete the ritual by envisioning a golden seal forming around your energy field, protecting your reclaimed power. Chapter 9: Tuning into the Quantum Signal. The universe is speaking to you. A young sailor named Rayon drifted aimlessly across vast waters, his compass broken, his maps lost to the sea. Night after night, he searched the horizon for direction, yet found only endless waves. One evening, as despair threatened to overwhelm him, an old memory stirred, his grandfather's words, "The stars have always spoken to those who remember how to listen." You too drift upon an infinite sea of possibility, searching outside yourself for guidance. Yet the universe constantly broadcasts its wisdom directly to you. Your intuition is not mere instinct. It is a quantum receiver, attuned to frequencies beyond ordinary perception. When you quiet the noise of doubt and fear, you begin to hear the whispers of universal intelligence guiding your every move. In a distant mountain village lived Sophia, a woman who spent her days watching leaves dance in the wind. Others called her strange, but she knew what they could not see, that nature speaks in patterns and signs. Each morning she would sit beneath an ancient tree, allowing the breeze to carry messages to her waiting heart. Through this practice she learned to read the subtle language of the universe. The wind led her to hidden springs when the village faced drought, to healing herbs when sickness spread, and finally to the sacred cave where her life's purpose awaited. The quantum field surrounds you with signs, symbols, and synchronicities, each one a message pointing toward your highest path. But like a radio tuned to static, your receiving system requires proper alignment to capture these divine broadcasts. To open your intuitive channels and receive clear guidance, practice this ancient listening technique. Find a place in nature where you can be undisturbed. Sit or lie comfortably with your palms facing upward. Begin by focusing on your breath, allowing each inhale and exhale to carry you deeper into stillness. As your mind quiets, imagine your consciousness expanding like ripples on water, extending beyond your physical form. Now become aware of the space between your thoughts. In this quantum void, universal wisdom flows freely. Don't strain to hear, simply rest in receptive awareness. Notice the subtle impressions, feelings, or knowings that arise. These are the first whispers of your intuitive guidance. Continue this practice until you feel complete, knowing that with each session, your ability to receive divine guidance grows stronger and clearer. Like a flower opening to the sun, your intuitive senses will naturally unfold in their own perfect timing. Trust in this sacred process. The wisdom of the ages flows through you more freely with each passing moment. The stars have always been guiding you home. You are simply remembering how to read their light, reawakening to the celestial language your soul has known since the beginning of time. Chapter 10. The Doorway to Quantum Awakening. In the halls of an ancient temple, a student named Zephyr stood paralyzed before an imposing door. For years he had studied the sacred texts, mastered the rituals, and prepared himself for this moment of initiation. Yet now, facing what he believed to be the final threshold, he found himself unable to move forward. You now stand at a similar threshold. The knowledge you have gathered is vast, the practice is familiar, but something still holds you back. What you perceive as an obstacle, a door that must be unlocked, a barrier that must be overcome, is merely a projection of your mind. The truth remains simple. There is no door. There never was. The only thing separating you from your desired reality is the belief that separation exists. As Zephyr stood frozen in contemplation, his teacher approached silently. Without a word, the master walked straight through what appeared to be solid wood. In that moment, Zephyr understood. The door had been an illusion sustained only by his belief in its existence. In a distant valley lived Thomas, a seeker who had traveled the world in search of a legendary treasure. He consulted sages, studied ancient maps, and followed countless clues, each promising to lead him closer to his goal. One night, exhausted from his endless quest, he dreamed of his own reflection speaking to him. That which you seek through 1,000 journeys already resides within you. Upon waking, Thomas realized the truth. He had been searching outside himself for what could only be found within. The treasure was not gold or jewels, but the recognition of his own divine nature. To move beyond seeking into being, practice this ancient transformation ritual. Sit in perfect stillness and close your eyes. Breathe deeply as you release all concepts of who you think you are. Let each exhale carry away the labels, roles, and limitations you have accepted as truth. Now feel yourself as pure consciousness, boundless, unlimited, and complete. From this space of infinite potential, simply declare, I am. Let these words resonate through every cell of your being. Add no qualifiers, no conditions, no limitations. Rest in the pure power of your existence and allow yourself to fully embody this truth. You are not becoming, you already are. The door dissolves, the search ends, and what remains is the simple recognition of your eternal nature. In this moment of pure being, you transcend all barriers between yourself and your desires. Hold this awareness until you feel the shift complete within you. Your transformation requires no permission, no external validation. It is simply the recognition of what has always been true. Part 2. Unlocking the Forbidden Codes of Manifestation. Chapter 11. The Collapse Technique, Turning Possibilities into Reality. In a hidden chamber beneath an ancient temple, a young alchemist named Raphael stood frozen before an endless corridor of doors. Each door shimmered with a different hue, each promising a different destiny. The weight of infinite possibility pressed upon him like a physical force. You now face a similar moment of choice. The quantum field presents you with endless probabilities, countless doors leading to countless futures. Like Raphael, you may feel overwhelmed by the sheer magnitude of possibility. His master appeared beside him, his voice barely a whisper. The door you choose is the door that becomes real. In that moment, Raphael understood. The power lay not in the doors themselves, but in his certainty of choice. The universe operates on this fundamental principle. Reality remains fluid until observed with unwavering conviction. Just as light travels all possible paths until measured, your future exists in a state of infinite potential until you collapse it through absolute decision. This truth has been preserved in the laboratories of quantum physics and the temples of ancient mystics alike. The act of observation, of choosing with complete certainty, transforms possibility into reality. In the mountains of a distant land lived a sculptor named May. For years she had struggled with her craft, fighting against the stone to release the forms trapped within. One night, in a moment of pure clarity, she discovered that her true power lay not in her hands but in her vision. As she held an image in her mind with perfect clarity, the stone began to shift and flow like water, rearranging itself to match her inner sight. The stone had always been responsive. She had simply been forcing instead of commanding. The moment she learned to envision with certainty, reality reshaped itself to match her vision. To harness this power, practice this ancient quantum collapsing technique. Stand in a space of silence. Close your eyes and feel the infinite field of possibility surrounding you. Now, envision your desired reality with absolute clarity. See it, feel it, know it as if it already exists. From this space of knowing, speak these words with unwavering authority. From infinite possibility, I choose this reality. All other paths dissolve. This alone remains. Feel the power of your decision ripple through the quantum field, collapsing all other possibilities until only your chosen reality remains. Hold this certainty until you feel the shift complete within your being. Chapter 12. The Frequency Alignment Ritual. How to tune your energy for instant results. In the mist-shrouded mountains of an ancient kingdom stood a sacred bell, its surface etched with symbols older than memory. For centuries, pilgrims journeyed to ring this mystical instrument, believing it held the power to summon divine forces. Yet despite their most vigorous attempts, the bell remained silent. You must understand that this bell, like the universe itself, operated on the principle of resonance. Just as a tuning fork will cause another of identical frequency to vibrate from across a room, reality responds only to that which matches its own divine frequency. One dawn, a wanderer named Lin appeared at the temple gates. Rather than approach the bell with force or desperation, she simply stood before it, allowing her breath to slow until it matched the subtle vibration she sensed emanating from the metal. As her inner song aligned with the bell's natural frequency, she began to hum, a pure, unwavering note. The bell, recognizing its own song, began to toll with such majesty that the mountains themselves seemed to tremble. This truth extends far beyond the realm of sound. Every desire you hold, abundance, love, purpose, exists as a distinct energetic frequency. These realities are not distant goals to be pursued, but stations already broadcasting, awaiting your alignment. In a valley blessed by eternal spring lived a woman named Maya, who discovered that her inner state created ripples in the fabric of reality. When her energy was discordant, the world appeared harsh and unyielding. But as she learned to adjust her inner symphony through breath, through thought, through feeling, she witnessed reality shift to match her frequency. The flowers bloomed more vibrantly in her presence, opportunities arose effortlessly, and even the birds seemed to sing in harmony with her inner song. To attune yourself to the frequency of your desired reality, practice this ancient vibrational alignment. Find a quiet space and settle into a comfortable position. Begin by taking deep rhythmic breaths, allowing each exhale to carry away any discord. Now, envision your desire as pure light and sound. What is its frequency? What is its song? Begin to hum or tone, allowing your voice to naturally find the note that resonates with this vision. Feel your entire being vibrating in perfect harmony with what you seek to manifest. As you maintain this resonance, speak these words. I am the frequency of my highest vision. As I vibrate, so reality reflects. Chapter 13, Thought Waves, the Silent Forces You Send Out. Along the ancient shores where wisdom keepers once gathered, a fisherman named Rashid cast his nets day after day, yet returned home empty-handed. His movements were precise, his timing perfect, but abundance eluded him. An elder watched from the weathered rocks, his eyes holding centuries of knowing. Your net is torn, he said simply. No matter how much you cast, nothing will hold. You must understand that your thoughts are like these nets, cast into the infinite sea of possibility. When your mental energy is scattered, torn between doubt and desire, between past and future, even the richest waters will yield nothing. The universe responds not to what you occasionally wish for, but to the consistent vibration of your dominant thoughts. Just as a torn net cannot hold its catch, fragmented focus cannot manifest your desires. Your mind must become a perfect vessel, every thought aligned with your intention. In a distant village lived a young boy named Tao, who would whisper his dreams to the wind each evening. Unknown to him, his pure, unwavering thoughts carried power. As he spoke of abundant harvests, the fields grew fuller. When he dreamed of healing rains, clouds gathered. His mind, unclouded by doubt or division, shaped the very fabric of reality around him. The villagers noticed their fortune changing, but never suspected that Tao's innocent, focused intentions were orchestrating their prosperity. His gift lay not in magical powers, but in the clarity of his thoughts, each one perfectly aligned with his heart's vision. To harness this power of focused intention, practice this mental focus calibration. Sit in stillness and imagine your mind as a still pool of water, pristine and untouched, in the sacred depths of a mountain sanctuary. Watch how thoughts create ripples across its surface, each one sending waves of energy into the universe. Now, consciously choose one intention, one clear, pure desire that springs from the depths of your soul. Let all other thoughts gently dissolve, like morning mist yielding to the warmth of dawn. Feel the power of your focused energy, like a laser beam of pure light cutting through the shadows of doubt and uncertainty. Hold this single thought until you sense its resonance throughout your being, allowing it to fill every cell with its divine potential. As this intention grows stronger, feel it becoming one with your very essence. Speak these words with unwavering conviction. My mind is a perfect vessel for creation. Every thought aligns with my highest intention. As I think, so it becomes. Through the eternal law of focused thought, my vision manifests in divine perfection. Chapter 14. Collapse Time and Manifest Now. Upon the mist-shrouded peaks of an ancient mountain, a seeker named Yusuf made his arduous climb. His heart burned with a single question that had driven him to this sacred height: how to speed the flow of time itself, to hasten the arrival of his dreams. At the summit he found a hermit dwelling in perfect peace, untouched by the urgency that consumed Yusuf's spirit. Upon hearing the seeker's desperate plea, the hermit's laughter echoed across the peaks like distant thunder. Time does not need to be sped up, it needs to be stepped out of, the hermit spoke, his words carrying the weight of ages. You chase tomorrow as if it holds what you seek, but tomorrow is merely a shadow cast by your thoughts. The eternal truth rings clear. Your desires do not exist in some distant future. They exist now, in this eternal moment. When you place your dreams in tomorrow, you ensure they remain forever out of reach, for tomorrow never arrives. The present moment is the only point of power. In the valleys below lived a traveler named Kai, who spent years seeking wisdom from distant lands. He collected scrolls and teachings, always believing the next journey would bring him the understanding he craved. One night, as he prepared for another lengthy expedition, he caught his reflection in a still pool. In that moment of perfect clarity, he realized that every answer he had ever sought already existed within him. The wisdom you seek, the abundance you desire, the love you yearn for, all exist in the eternal now. By stepping out of time's illusion, you access the realm where all possibilities already exist. Like a flower that contains within its seed the full knowledge of its blossoming, your present moment holds every answer you will ever need. When you release the habit of searching outside yourself, in some distant future or idealized past, you discover that the universal power flows through you in this very breath, this sacred instant of being. To shift into this timeless reality, practice this time compression technique. Close your eyes and breathe deeply into the present moment. Feel time dissolving around you like morning mist in the sun. Now bring to mind the future version of yourself who has already manifested your desire. Rather than reaching forward to grasp it, allow that version to step backward into you. Feel the merging of what was future into what is now. Speak these words with quiet authority. I step out of time's illusion. My desired reality exists now. I claim it in this eternal moment. As I release the concept of waiting, my manifestation naturally emerges in the present. Let your entire being resonate with the truth that what you seek is already here. Chapter 15. You must become it to have it. In the palace of a great kingdom lived a servant named Adil, who spent his days watching the king from afar, his heart heavy with longing to wear the crown. Each morning, as he polished the marble floors, he would whisper prayers to the universe, begging to be granted the throne he so desperately desired. Years passed this way until one day a wandering sage observed Adil's yearning. The sage approached and spoke words that would transform the servant's understanding forever. "You will never be king by wanting. You must wear the crown in your heart first." This truth echoes through the ages. The universe does not respond to your desires. It responds to your state of being. When you shift your energy to match what you seek, reality has no choice but to reflect it back to you. Your outer world will always arrange itself to mirror your inner kingdom. In a distant village lived Amara, a young dancer who dreamed of performing in the greatest theaters. Night after night, she practiced her steps, always focusing on what she lacked. But one evening, as she caught her reflection in the studio mirror, something shifted within her. Instead of seeing a student striving to improve, she began moving as though she were already the greatest performer in the world. As she danced, her movements transformed. No longer was she reaching toward excellence, she was embodying it. With each step, she carried herself with the grace and presence of a master artist. Soon, others began to notice. The very energy she emanated drew opportunities to her, and her dance became a living testament to the power of being rather than wanting. Your transformation follows the same principle. To manifest your desires, you must first become their living embodiment. If you seek abundance, you must carry yourself with the quiet confidence of one who knows wealth intimately. If you desire love, you must become love's expression in human form. To facilitate this profound shift in being, practice this quantum identity shift exercise. Stand before a mirror and close your eyes. Feel yourself stepping out of your current identity like removing an old garment. Now, imagine your desired self in perfect detail, their posture, their energy, their way of moving through the world. Open your eyes and move as they would move. Speak as they would speak. Let every cell of your body vibrate with the knowing that you are already what you seek to become. Throughout your day, catch yourself whenever you slip into old patterns and ask, how would my evolved self approach this moment? Let your actions flow from this new state of being. Chapter 16. Jump timelines and collapse the old you. At the intersection of two ancient paths stood Nathaniel, frozen in contemplation. As the sun cast its dying rays across the desert sand, he witnessed a sight that would forever alter his understanding of reality. Before him appeared two versions of himself, one radiant with success and inner peace, the other bearing the weight of missed opportunities and unfulfilled dreams. From the whispers of the wind came a truth that had been waiting eternally to be heard. Both exist. Choose which one you step into. You exist in infinite versions across countless timelines. Each thought, each decision, each shift in your energy creates a new branch of possibility. These alternate versions of you are not mere fantasies. They are living realities waiting to be claimed. When you consciously shift your identity, you activate a quantum leap into a timeline where your desired reality has already manifested. This truth becomes clearer through the tale of Thomas, a struggling writer who lived in a small cottage by the sea. Each morning he would sit at his weathered desk, his manuscripts gathering dust, his dreams seeming ever more distant. One day, following an inner calling he couldn't explain, he began writing a different kind of story, his own. But instead of documenting his present circumstances, he wrote of himself as he wished to be. In his story, Thomas described himself as a celebrated author whose words touched millions. He wrote of the feeling of holding his best-selling books, of speaking to captivated audiences, of living the life he had always envisioned. Night after night he immersed himself in this narrative, feeling it as real and present. One morning, Thomas awoke to find his reality had shifted. His phone was filled with messages from his publisher, his calendar marked with speaking engagements, and his desk adorned with copies of his successful books. He had not merely imagined a new future, he had stepped into a timeline where that future was already his present. To facilitate your own timeline shift, practice this ancient timeline shifting ritual. Find a quiet space and close your eyes. Visualize yourself standing before an infinite corridor of mirrors, each reflecting a different version of you. Walk slowly, observing each reflection until you find the one that embodies your highest vision. Step through that mirror, feeling yourself merge with this evolved version of yourself. Let their essence flow into your being, their energy becoming yours. Feel their confidence coursing through your veins, their knowing anchored in your bones, their mastery emanating from your very presence. Their achievements are now your achievements, their wisdom your wisdom. Open your eyes and move through your day as this version of yourself, carrying yourself with the grace and certainty of one who has already attained their deepest desires. Know with unwavering faith that you have activated a new timeline where your dreams are not mere possibilities, but manifest realities already unfolding in the eternal now. Chapter 17. The Paradox of Letting Go, Why Wanting Too Much Repels It. Along the shores of an ancient sea, a man named Rashid knelt in the sand, his fingers desperately clutching at the golden grains. The harder he squeezed, the more quickly the sand escaped through his trembling fingers, until nothing remained but emptiness. A monk weathered by wisdom watched from nearby. "The tighter you grasp," he said softly, "the more you lose." You must understand this fundamental truth. The energy of desperation creates resistance in the quantum field. When you clutch at your desires with fear and anxiety, you push away the very things you seek to draw near. The universe responds not to your wants, but to your state of being. Think of the energy you emit when you grasp desperately at outcomes. This frequency of lack, of fear, of not having, becomes a barrier between you and your manifestations. It is like trying to catch water with clenched fists. The tighter you squeeze, the less you can hold. In the marketplace of a distant city lived a merchant named Hassan. His fortunes had dwindled until he possessed but a single gold coin. As he walked through the streets, contemplating his fate, he encountered an old woman struggling to feed her children. Without hesitation, Hassan gave her his last coin, surrendering completely to the flow of life. That evening, as he sat in peaceful acceptance of his empty purse, a stranger arrived at his door. The man spoke of a rare trading opportunity that would require Hassan's expertise. Within months, Hassan's warehouses overflowed with riches beyond imagination. His surrender had created the space for abundance to flow. To master this principle, practice this ancient release and surrender technique. Sit in stillness and bring to mind something you deeply desire. Feel the wanting, the attachment, the anxiety of needing it to manifest. Now, imagine this desire as a dove in your hands. Slowly, lovingly, open your palms and watch it fly free. As you do, fill yourself with absolute knowing that what is meant for you cannot miss you. Feel the peace that comes with complete surrender, while maintaining unwavering faith in the perfection of divine timing. Release your grip on the how and when, trusting that the universe's plan far exceeds your limited vision. In this state of peaceful surrender, you become an open channel through which all possibilities can flow. Like water finding its natural course, abundance seeks the path of least resistance. When you release your need to control every detail, to orchestrate each moment, you allow divine wisdom to work through you in ways far beyond what your earthly mind could conceive. This surrender is not passive resignation, but rather an active partnership with the infinite intelligence that orchestrates the cosmos. Chapter 18. The Unseen Hand, Trusting the Quantum Intelligence. Along the banks of an ancient river, a young boy named Chen stood with a small wooden boat in his hands. With trembling fingers, he placed it upon the water's surface, his heart heavy with worry that the currents would carry his precious craft astray. Yet as he watched, the river guided the boat with gentle purpose, delivering it safely to a hidden cove downstream, where treasures awaited. You must understand that the universe operates with an intelligence far beyond human comprehension. Every moment, countless unseen forces work in perfect harmony to guide you toward your highest good. Your task is not to control these forces, but to align with them. When you resist the natural flow of life, you create turbulence in your experience. Like a sailor fighting against the wind, you exhaust yourself trying to force your way forward. But when you learn to trust in the greater wisdom that governs all things, you tap into a power that propels you effortlessly toward your destiny. In a distant valley lived a woman named Maya, who spent her days rowing against fierce winds, determined to cross a vast lake by her own strength alone. Each evening, she returned exhausted, having made little progress. One morning she heard an inner whisper urging her to raise her sail and trust the wind. Though frightened, she surrendered to this guidance. To her amazement, the very wind she had fought now carried her swiftly across the waters, revealing shortcuts she could never have discovered on her own. To embrace this wisdom, practice this surrender meditation. Find a quiet space and close your eyes. Breathe deeply as you imagine yourself floating in a vast ocean. Feel the gentle support of the water beneath you. With each breath, release the need to control your direction. See yourself surrounded by powerful currents of divine intelligence. Know that these currents are carrying you exactly where you need to be. Feel your body soften as you surrender to this greater force. Let go of the shore of your limited understanding and trust in the infinite wisdom that guides the stars. Chapter 19. The Quantum Wealth Code. Tapping into limitless prosperity. Along an ancient trade route, a wise elder named Karim approached a farmer who stood anxiously watching his newly planted fields. "Why do you pace with such worry?" the elder inquired. The farmer admitted his fear that the crop might fail. With gentle wisdom, Karim gestured to the rising sun and spoke. "You do not plant seeds to hope for a harvest. You plant because you know it will grow." The universe operates through absolute law. Just as the sun rises without doubt, abundance flows to those who align with its natural principles. You have been taught to view wealth as uncertain, but this is an illusion. Wealth is an energy that responds to your inner state with mathematical precision. Those who have mastered prosperity never question whether money will come. They expect it with the same certainty that spring follows winter. Their relationship with abundance mirrors the farmer who plants with complete faith, knowing that the seeds contain everything needed for their growth. In the marketplace of an ancient city, there lived a beggar named Talib who spent his days asking for coins. One evening, a mysterious merchant whispered to him, "Your poverty is not your fate. It is merely the costume you wear." The merchant instructed Talib to spend one day moving through the world as though he were already wealthy. Though skeptical, Talib straightened his posture, walked with dignity, and began treating everyone he met as equals rather than superiors. By sunset, he had received 3 offers of employment, a gift of fine clothes, and an invitation to join a merchant caravan. Within a month, his life had transformed completely. To step into the energy of unlimited abundance, practice this wealth frequency activation. Sit in stillness and place your hands over your heart. Breathe deeply as you attune to the vibration of infinite prosperity. Feel wealth as an energy flowing through your entire being. See yourself as a natural extension of the universe's abundance. Just as a tree naturally bears fruit, know that prosperity naturally flows to and through you. Speak these words with unwavering certainty, allowing each syllable to vibrate through your entire being. I am one with the infinite source of all wealth. Abundance flows to me as naturally as I breathe. I receive prosperity with perfect faith. Feel these sacred truths penetrate every cell of your body, knowing they express your deepest reality. Let your voice carry the power of absolute conviction, for you are declaring what has always been true. Maintain this elevated state for several minutes, allowing your consciousness to resonate fully with the frequency of unlimited abundance. As you do so, you become a pure channel through which the universe's prosperity naturally flows. Chapter 20. Unlocking Limitless Potential. You are more powerful than you think. High in the mountains, a majestic eagle lived in a golden cage. Though the door stood open, it remained inside, believing itself trapped. A wise woman passing by observed, "The bars that hold you are made of thoughts, not metal." You too dwell in an invisible cage, one built from beliefs about what is possible. These walls exist only in your mind, yet they appear more solid than steel. The truth remains. You were born with wings of infinite potential. Every limitation you experience stems from an accepted boundary. These boundaries were not placed upon you. You inherited them, absorbed them, or created them yourself. Yet just as water cannot be contained by an imaginary dam, your true nature cannot be bound by false beliefs. In a distant village there lived a man named Rashad, who believed himself imprisoned by invisible chains. Each day, he would walk to the edge of what he thought possible, then turn back. One morning, a child asked him, "What chains?" Looking down, Rashad saw nothing binding him. In that moment of clarity, he realized he had been free all along. With this understanding, he stepped beyond his self-imposed boundaries into a world of unlimited possibility. The power to transcend limitation has always resided within you. Just as the eagle needed only to spread its wings, you need only to recognize your inherent freedom. The universe places no restrictions on what you can achieve. It simply mirrors back the boundaries you accept as real. To release yourself from these invisible bonds, practice this unshackling the mind ritual. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Envision yourself surrounded by transparent walls, each one representing a belief that has limited you. See these walls for what they truly are: illusions created by thought. With each breath, watch as these walls dissolve into mist. Feel the vast expanse of possibility opening before you. Now speak these words of power with conviction and reverence. I release all bonds of limitation. I claim my infinite nature. I am free. Let each sacred word resonate through your being, vibrating through every cell until you feel the last vestiges of restriction falling away like autumn leaves in the wind. Feel the ancient truth of these declarations, awakening something profound within you. Stand tall in the pure awareness of your true unlimited self. bathed in the light of understanding that nothing has ever truly bound you except your own beliefs. In this moment of clarity, you remember what your soul has always known, that you are as vast as the cosmos itself, unbounded by the temporary illusions of the material world. Part 3. Bending Reality and Jumping Timelines. Chapter 21. Instant Manifestation. Is it possible? In the hallowed halls of an ancient temple, a young monk named Chen received a simple unlit candle from his master. "Light it without fire," came the instruction. For years, Chen tried everything, focusing his qi, practicing ancient breathing techniques, studying sacred texts. Yet the candle remained dark. You too may have felt this frustration, believing that manifestation requires endless effort, countless attempts, or the perfect technique. But time is not the key to creation. Alignment is. One morning, as sunlight streamed through the temple windows, Chen looked at his candle differently. Instead of seeing darkness, he simply witnessed it already aflame. In that instant of perfect alignment, when his inner vision matched his desired reality, the candle burst into light. The universe does not require time to manifest your desires. It requires only your complete alignment with their existence. When you truly see something as real in your consciousness, the physical world has no choice but to reflect it. In a distant marketplace, a merchant named Malik believed wealth could only come through decades of toil. Each day he worked harder than the last, convinced that prosperity lay at the end of a long road, until one evening he encountered a mystic who asked him a simple question: why wait for what already exists? The mystic taught Malik to step into the feeling of abundance now, not as a future possibility, but as a present reality. The moment Malik fully embodied this truth, his circumstances transformed. Orders flooded in, opportunities appeared, and wealth flowed effortlessly. To collapse time and manifest with immediacy, practice this speed of manifestation technique. Sit in sacred stillness and close your eyes. Feel yourself surrounded by infinite potential, as though you were floating in an ocean of pure possibility. Now, instead of reaching toward your desire, simply witness it as already present, as natural as the air you breathe. See it in perfect detail. Feel it with every cell of your being. Know it as done, as surely as you know the sun will rise. Release all notion of process or waiting, for time is but an illusion that separates you from your divine inheritance. Let your breath synchronize with this truth until you and your manifestation become one unified field of consciousness, inseparable and complete. Feel the reality of it now, complete and perfect, in this eternal moment where all things already exist in their fullness. Let your entire being resonate with the knowing that what you seek is already yours, as it has always been. Chapter 22. The Quantum Leap Formula: How to Shift Realities Overnight. In the heart of the endless sands, a traveler named Rashid wandered for decades, searching for the legendary oasis. Each morning, he would rise before dawn, following the same paths that countless others had walked before him. Year after year, his determination never wavered, yet the oasis remained eternally beyond reach. You too may believe that transformation requires endless time and effort. This is the greatest illusion that binds humanity, the belief that change must be gradual, that dreams take years to manifest, that your desired reality lies at the end of a long journey. One night, beneath the desert stars, Rashid encountered an ancient one who spoke words that shattered his understanding. The oasis has always been here. You simply walk the path of those who never found it. In that moment, Rashid understood. His identity as a seeker had kept him seeking. Only by becoming one who had already arrived could he make the oasis appear. The instant he shifted his core belief, the winds changed, revealing a path he had never seen. 3 steps later, he stood among flowing waters and abundant palms. In a distant mountain temple, a young artist named Maya spent years learning the art of sculpture. Each day she carefully chiseled away at the stone, believing that only through endless refinement could the masterpiece emerge, until one morning her master approached and whispered, "You see time where there is none." One stroke, made with absolute certainty, reveals what was always there. Maya stepped back, seeing the stone anew. Instead of a block requiring years of work, she saw her vision already complete within. With one decisive strike, born not of effort, but of absolute knowing, the outer layer fell away, revealing perfection. To make this quantum leap in your own reality, practice this ancient ritual. Stand in a space of sacred silence. Close your eyes and feel the energy of all possible realities surrounding you. Now, instead of seeing yourself on a journey toward your desire, recognize that an infinite number of versions of you already exist. The version who has already achieved everything you seek is as real as the air you breathe. Feel the absolute truth of this. Take 3 breaths. With each exhale, release the identity of one who is trying, seeking, becoming. With each inhale, step fully into the energy of one who already is. Let your cells vibrate with this truth until you feel the shift in your very foundation. Know that the moment you fully embody this new identity, reality has no choice but to reflect it. Now make one decisive movement, a step, a gesture, a word that comes from this new state of being. This movement is not a reaching toward, but a declaration of what already is. Feel how the universe rearranges itself around this new truth, revealing what was always there. Around this new truth, revealing what was always there. Chapter 23. Time Distortion. The art of slowing, bending, and accelerating time. In the ancient scrolls of the Eastern temples, there exists a tale of a warrior named Akira. As dawn broke over the battlefield, he received an impossible command: cross 1,000 paces in mere seconds. His mind raced with doubt, calculating the physical limitations that bound him. You too have accepted time as an immovable force, believing its flow to be beyond your control. Yet the deepest mysteries of the universe reveal that time bends to consciousness itself. As Akira stood frozen in fear, an aged sage appeared beside him. "Time is not what you think," the sage whispered. "It stretches or contracts according to your belief." The warrior closed his eyes, breathing deeply until his heartbeat matched the rhythm of the universe. When his eyes opened, he moved with such certainty that the world seemed to pause around him. What should have taken hours passed in moments. In a distant valley, a weaver named Lynn found herself overwhelmed with orders that would normally require weeks to complete. As she sat at her loom, something extraordinary occurred. Instead of fighting against time, she surrendered to the eternal now. In that state of pure presence, her hands moved with supernatural efficiency. When she emerged from her flow state, she discovered that days of work had manifested in mere minutes. To bend time to your will, practice this sacred technique. Find a space of complete stillness. Close your eyes and feel time as energy, fluid, malleable, responsive to your consciousness. Breathe deeply until you sense the pause between moments. In this space, time has no power. Now, envision your desired outcome as already complete. Rather than seeing it in the future, know it as finished in this eternal moment. Feel how time bends around this knowing, creating a direct path between now and manifestation. Take one breath that encompasses all time, past, present, and future, merged into a single point of power. As you exhale, feel how reality reshapes itself, bringing your desire into the now. Time is not your master, it is your instrument of creation. Let each breath draw you deeper into this eternal moment, where all possibilities exist simultaneously. Feel how the boundaries between what was, what is, and what will be dissolve into pure potential. In this sacred space of creation, you stand at the center of all time, conducting its flow with the power of your consciousness. Chapter 24. Parallel Realities. Choosing the best version of you. In the ancient marketplace of Damascus, a merchant named Kamal sought guidance about his future path. As he sat before an enigmatic mystic, the air shimmered like heat rising from desert sands. In an instant, 3 distinct visions unfolded before him. You too stand at such a crossroads where infinite possibilities await your choosing. The universe holds every version of your life simultaneously, each one as real as the next until you make your selection. In the first vision, Kamal saw himself continuing his modest trade, safe but unfulfilled. In the second, he led a vast network of traders spanning continents. In the third, he had transformed his business into something entirely new, bringing prosperity to his entire community. All these futures exist now, the mystic revealed. Your power lies not in creating them, but in choosing which one to step into. This truth echoes across the ages. You are not bound to a single destiny. The quantum field holds every conceivable version of your life, waiting for your conscious selection. In a distant workshop, an inventor named Reza struggled with a revolutionary design. Night after night, failure haunted his efforts, until a strange dream revealed something remarkable. He saw himself in another reality, where his invention had already transformed the world. In that moment, he understood. Success wasn't about creating something new, but about aligning with the version of himself who had already achieved it. To shift into your chosen reality, practice this ancient technique. Close your eyes and feel the presence of infinite parallel realities surrounding you. Each contains a different version of your life. Breathe deeply as you sense them all existing simultaneously. Now identify the reality where you have already achieved your deepest desires. Feel its energy, its frequency. Notice how that version of you moves, thinks, and believes. With each breath, begin to merge with this evolved version of yourself. Let your current consciousness dissolve into theirs until no separation exists. You are not becoming someone new. You are claiming who you have always been in that reality. Feel how naturally this alignment occurs, for it is your divine birthright to access any state of being you choose. Feel the shift complete itself as you fully embody this chosen version. The quantum field responds instantly, beginning to reshape your external world to match this new frequency. Like iron filings aligning with a magnet, reality rearranges itself around your newly claimed state of consciousness. This is the ancient law at work, as within, so without. Your inner transformation creates ripples through the fabric of existence, drawing to you the circumstances that mirror your elevated state of being. Chapter 25. The unseen web that shapes your reality. In the depths of an ancient forest, a spider weaves its web between 2 branches. With each silken thread, it creates not just a structure, but a living instrument that resonates with the pulse of existence itself. You, like this spider, are constantly weaving the fabric of your reality. Every thought you release into the universe sends vibrations through the quantum web that connects all things. These vibrations ripple outward, touching countless unseen points of creation, shaping the world around you in ways you have yet to comprehend. Watch how the spider's web trembles at the slightest touch. A leaf falling on one strand causes the entire structure to dance. So too does your energy affect the vast tapestry of existence. There is no such thing as an isolated action or thought. All is interconnected in the grand design of the universe. In the fertile valleys of an ancient land, a farmer named Yusef planted a single seed with pure intention. As the seed took root, he noticed something extraordinary. The birds began nesting in new patterns. The wind changed its course. Other crops flourished unexpectedly. Even the clouds seemed to gather differently above his fields. His single act of planting, infused with clear purpose, had shifted the entire ecosystem. Through this eternal law, you come to understand that every choice you make sends waves through the fabric of reality. These waves influence events far beyond your immediate perception, creating a cascade of synchronized occurrences that align with your intention. To harness this power, practice this timeless technique. Sit in stillness and envision yourself at the center of an infinite web of golden light. Each strand represents a connection to every aspect of existence. Feel how this web pulses with life, responding to your very presence. Now hold your desire clearly in your mind. See it as a point of brilliant light in your heart. As you exhale, send this light traveling along the strands of the web. Watch as it creates waves of energy, touching everything in its path. Feel how the web begins to vibrate at the frequency of your intention. Notice how these vibrations return to you, amplified by the countless connections they've touched. Allow yourself to sense the entire universe rearranging itself in response to your energy. The web glows brighter with each pulse, transforming your intention into physical reality. You are not merely asking the universe for what you desire. You are conducting an orchestra of creation, sending forth harmonious waves that reshape the very structure of existence. With each breath, you become more attuned to this sacred dance of manifestation, feeling how your consciousness ripples outward through the infinite strands of connection. Like a master weaver at their loom, you are threading your desires into the very fabric of reality, watching as the patterns shift and realign to accommodate your vision. Chapter 26. The Quantum Influence: How to Shape Collective Reality. In a distant land where mountains touch clouds, a storyteller named Rayan wandered from village to village. As he shared tales beneath starlit skies, strange occurrences followed in his wake. Fields that lay barren burst into bloom. Age-old feuds dissolved into friendship. Children who had never spoken found their voice. At first, Rayan believed these changes were mere coincidence. Yet as he continued his journey, the pattern became undeniable. His stories weren't just words carried on the wind. They were seeds of transformation, planting themselves in the hearts of all who listened. You must understand your energy is not confined within the boundaries of your physical form. Like ripples in a pond, your vibration extends far beyond you, touching everything and everyone in its path. When you step into mastery of the quantum field, your very presence becomes a force of transformation. The power you hold is greater than you realize. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, radiates outward into the collective field of consciousness. As you elevate your own frequency, you automatically lift those around you into higher states of being. In the sacred mountains of the East, there lived a monk named Chen, who had mastered this truth. As civil unrest threatened to tear his region apart, Chen simply walked through the villages, carrying nothing but peace in his heart. Where armies gathered, weapons mysteriously lowered. Where hatred burned, understanding blossomed. His energy alone was enough to transmute darkness into light. To expand your energetic influence, practice this ancient method. Find a quiet space and close your eyes. Breathe deeply until you feel centered in your power. Now, imagine your energy as a sphere of golden light emanating from your heart. With each breath, this sphere expands, growing larger and more radiant. Feel how this field of light touches everything around you. See it flowing through walls, embracing trees, enveloping people near and far. As your field expands, infuse it with the qualities you wish to share with the world: peace, love, abundance, harmony. Notice how the air itself seems to change as your energy field grows, becoming charged with possibility and divine potential. Feel how it influences the quantum fabric of reality, rearranging particles to align with your highest intention. The very atoms around you begin to dance in harmony with your expanded consciousness, responding to the sacred frequencies you now embody. You are not forcing change. You are becoming a living transmitter of transformation, naturally elevating everything you touch into a higher state of being. Like the sun that need not command the flowers to grow but simply shines its radiant light, your mere presence becomes a catalyst for positive change in the world around you. Chapter 27. How to Access the Ultimate Mind, the Superconscious Download. In the halls of an ancient library where scrolls of wisdom stretched endlessly into shadow, there lived a scholar named Tamir. For 40 years, he had devoted himself to the pursuit of knowledge, believing that truth lay hidden within the countless pages before him. You see, Tamir represents the journey many undertake, searching outside themselves for what already dwells within. His shelves groaned beneath the weight of accumulated wisdom, yet understanding remained elusive. One moonlit evening, as Tamir pored over yet another ancient text, a mystic appeared in his chamber. The stranger's eyes held the depth of centuries as he spoke. There is nothing to learn. You must only remember. This truth lies at the heart of all spiritual awakening. The knowledge you seek is not found in books or teachings. It exists within the vast reservoir of the superconscious mind. This infinite intelligence holds all wisdom, all solutions, all possibilities. It is not something separate from you, but rather your own higher nature, waiting to be accessed. In a distant valley, there lived a woman named Maya who discovered this truth. Each morning she would sit beneath an old oak tree, allowing her mind to settle into perfect stillness. In this sacred silence, answers would arise unbidden, solutions to problems she had not yet encountered, wisdom for situations yet to unfold. She had discovered the art of receiving rather than seeking. To access the superconscious mind, practice this ancient meditation. Find a space where you will not be disturbed. Sit with your spine straight, hands resting gently in your lap. Close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths, allowing each exhale to carry away the weight of conscious thought. Now imagine a golden light descending from above, entering through the crown of your head. This light represents universal intelligence, the infinite wisdom that has always been yours to access. Feel it filling your entire being, dissolving the illusion of separation between your individual mind and the cosmic mind. As this light saturates every cell, release all effort to figure things out. Instead, open yourself to receive. Feel yourself merging with the vast ocean of universal consciousness, where all knowledge exists in perfect clarity. In this space, there are no questions, only the pure knowing that arises naturally in the silence of your being. Rest here, allowing wisdom to flow through you like a clear stream. Trust that whatever insight you need will arise precisely when needed, for the superconscious mind knows no limitation of time or space. You are not learning. You are remembering what your soul has always known. Chapter 28. Rewriting Fate. Your past does not define you. In the depths of a forgotten prison there lived a man named Kamal who believed his chains were unbreakable. Each day he would trace the lines of his past mistakes, reinforcing the bars of his mental cage with every retelling of his story. You have done this too, held yourself captive with tales of what was, what should have been, what could never be. But the past exists only in your mind, shaped and reshaped by the stories you choose to tell. A wise teacher visited Kamal one night, observing his lamentations with knowing eyes. "You were never the prisoner," the teacher said. "You were the storyteller." In that moment, Kamal saw that his chains were made not of iron but of thought. The past is not carved in stone, it is fluid, alive, responding to your present perspective. When you shift how you view what has happened, you alter its power over your future. Every memory carries an energetic charge that either propels you forward or holds you back. In the bustling markets of an ancient city, there lived a merchant named Hassan. His early ventures had all ended in failure, and these memories haunted his every decision. But one day, while studying his reflection in a pool of water, he saw his past differently. Each failure transformed into a lesson, each setback into a stepping stone. By rewriting the meaning of his past, his future suddenly opened with possibility. Within months, his business flourished beyond imagination. To release yourself from the prison of past stories, practice this sacred technique. Close your eyes and envision yourself in a vast hall of mirrors, each one reflecting a different moment from your past. Choose one memory that still holds power over you. As you gaze into its reflection, see it not as fixed reality but as flowing water ready to be reshaped by your new understanding. Now step into this memory as the wise observer you have become. Feel how the energy shifts as you view it through eyes of wisdom rather than judgment. What gifts were hidden within this experience? What strength did it build within you? As you recognize these deeper truths, watch how the memory's reflection transforms, its energy aligning with your highest good. Feel how this shift ripples forward through time, opening new pathways in your present and future. Remember, you are not changing what happened. You are changing its meaning, its charge, its power over your destiny. In doing so, you free yourself to write a new story, one unbounded by the limitations of the past. Chapter 29. The Final Key That Changes Everything. In the sacred halls of an ancient temple, there lived a seeker named Amar, who devoted his entire existence to uncovering the one supreme truth that governed all creation. He studied with masters, decoded mystical texts, and journeyed to the furthest corners of the earth. You have walked this path too, searching endlessly for the key that would unlock all mysteries, believing that somewhere, hidden from view, lies the answer to everything. The truth you seek has always existed within you. Like a wave searching for the ocean, you have looked everywhere except where you already are. The power to create worlds does not reside in secret scrolls or distant mountains. It pulses through your very being with every breath. In a small village among towering peaks, there lived a young boy named Ravi. Tales spoke of a legendary treasure buried somewhere in the mountains. For years, he searched every cave and crevice, growing weary with each passing season. One day, exhausted from his quest, he sat beside a crystal-clear pool. As he gazed at his reflection, the water began to glow, illuminating him from within. In that moment, he understood. He himself was the treasure he had been seeking. Just as Ravi discovered his true nature, you now stand at the threshold of the ultimate revelation. Every teaching, every practice, every transformation has led you to this moment of recognition. You are not separate from the universe. You are its conscious expression. The power you have sought has never been outside of you. It flows through your thoughts, speaks through your words, and moves through your actions. You are the living embodiment of the very force that creates worlds. To fully embody this ultimate truth, enter into this final sacred practice. Find a quiet space and close your eyes. Feel the rhythm of your breath, not as something you do, but as the universe breathing through you. Let your awareness expand beyond the boundaries of your physical form. Feel the energy that animates your body. It is the same force that moves the stars. Now recall every teaching you have integrated, every shift you have made. Feel them merging into one unified knowing. You are not learning something new. You are remembering what you have always been. Let this recognition flood every cell of your being. As this awareness deepens, feel yourself dissolving into pure consciousness. The illusion of separation falls away. There is no seeker and nothing to seek. There is only the infinite expressing itself as you, through you, as all things. From this space of unity, open your eyes. Look upon the world not as something separate from you, but as an extension of your own consciousness. Everything you see, everything you experience, is a reflection of the infinite being that you are. Chapter 30. Living as the Quantum Creator. A master stands before his gathered students in a temple courtyard. The air is thick with anticipation after years of devoted study. One student, his voice trembling with uncertainty, asks, "What do we do now?" The master's eyes sparkle with ancient wisdom as he replies, "Now, you live it." You have journeyed through the depths of quantum wisdom, unlocked the codes of manifestation, and remembered your divine nature. Yet knowledge alone is not enough. It must become your very essence. Every breath you take is an opportunity to embody these eternal truths. Every thought is a chance to shape reality. Every moment is an invitation to step fully into your power as a conscious creator. True mastery unfolds not in moments of study, but in the simple acts of daily life. It manifests when you face challenges with unwavering certainty in your creative power. It shows itself when you walk through the world knowing that each step affects the fabric of reality itself. In the realm of the infinite stars, there lived a ruler named Cyrus, who spent his days governing his kingdom from a golden throne. Each night, he would gaze at the celestial lights above, believing them to be forever beyond his reach. One evening, as he raised his hand in contemplation, he noticed the stars shifting in response to his movement. In that moment, he realized that the kingdom he ruled extended far beyond earthly borders. He was the master of reality itself. With this understanding, he rose from his throne and stepped into his true destiny as a conscious creator of worlds. Like Cyrus, you now stand at the threshold between knowing and being. The time has come to live these teachings in every facet of your existence. Each morning when you open your eyes, remember that you are shaping reality with your consciousness. With every word you speak, know that you are commanding the quantum field. In each choice you make, recognize that you are selecting from infinite possibilities. To fully embody your role as a conscious creator of reality, practice this ancient method of integration. Begin each day by placing your hand over your heart. Feel the pulse of creation itself beating within you. As you move through your day, pause regularly to ask, how would the infinite creator that I am respond to this moment? Let your actions flow from this space of divine awareness. When you speak, let your words carry the weight of universal law. When you move, let each step be a conscious act of reality creation. When you breathe, feel the universe breathing through you. This is not a practice to be done occasionally. It is a way of being. Let every moment become a living expression of your creative power. The time for learning is complete. Now, you must become what you have always been, the conscious architect of existence itself. Get your free ebook straight into your email inbox. The link is in the pinned comment. Conclusion. Throughout this journey, you have walked the path of remembrance, not learning. Each teaching has been a key unlocking what was already within you. The ancient texts speak of this truth. You are never separate from the source of all creation. You are that source. Look at your hands. These are not merely flesh and bone. They are the hands that shape universes. The breath flowing through you is not simply air. It is the cosmic force of creation itself. Your thoughts are not mere electrical impulses, they are the very commands that orchestrate reality. The greatest masters never taught their students, they simply helped them remember who they truly were. You have not been acquiring knowledge. You have been stripping away the illusions that made you forget your true nature. The power was never something to attain, it was always you. When you gaze into a mirror, you see only a fraction of what you truly are. Your physical form is merely one expression of an infinite being that spans all of existence. The universe is not a vast expanse that contains you. You are the vast expanse that contains all things. This is why manifestation was never about attracting things from outside yourself. How can you attract what is already you? Everything you have ever desired already exists within the infinite field that you are. You do not need to manifest reality because you are reality itself. This understanding changes everything. No longer do you need to ask the universe for what you want. No longer must you wait for signs or perfect timing. You are the universe. You are the timing. You are the sign you have been waiting for. The power to shape existence was never given to you. It is what you are. Every breath you take is an act of universal creation. Every thought you think is reality taking form. Every feeling you feel is the cosmos experiencing itself through you. If you enjoyed this exclusive audiobook, I handpicked this next book which will change your life.